Welcome to our YouTube channel dedicated to exploring the latest insights and opportunities in the world of finance and investments, with a special focus on currency revaluation, gold and silver investments, cryptocurrency, and make money online opportunities, and more. If you're interested in staying up to date on the latest developments in currency revaluation, particularly the Iraqi Dinar and other currencies, best to subscribe to this channel. Please note that the content on this YouTube channel is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We are not licensed financial advisors, and the opinions expressed on this channel are based on our own research and personal experience. We strongly recommend that you do your own research and consult with a licensed financial advisor. Also, just before we go any further, this channel has a weekly giveaway of 100 Dogecoin. To enter, all you have to do is be subscribed to this channel, like this video, and watch this video until the end, because if you don't, you will be automatically disqualified from the giveaway. We will be sharing the random hashtag keyword daily somewhere in the video, and then comment hashtag the keyword with no spaces in between in the comment section. Good luck. Now, let's proceed with the latest Iraqi Dinar news and intel today. Please take these pieces of information with a grain of salt, and please make sure to do your own due diligence. You ever get that feeling like something big is about to go down, but only a few people are paying attention? Well, this might be one of those moments. In today's updates, we've got billboards going up in Baghdad teaching people how to exchange their large notes, the same economic benchmarks Dr. Shabibi laid out years ago. Inflation, note count, market rate gaps, they're lining up right now. And to top it off, Iraq is actively debating a free-floating exchange rate, and they're fast-tracking international financial partnerships to secure global trust. That's not business as usual. That's the framework for a revaluation. And for those still wondering if Iraq is serious about dropping the 3 zeros, trust me, some of these moves are only made when you're at the final stage. So don't just scroll past this one. If you miss this window, you're going to wish you hit play. Stick around because I'll give you all the key updates, and at the end I'll break down why I believe we're seeing Iraq transition from preparation to execution. Let's get into the updates. From Intel Newshound Guru Mark Z at PDK. Question: any news about our NDAs? I am still hearing we will not have an NDA unless you have enormous amounts of ZIM for projects. I keep being told that. Hope it is accurate. From Newshound/Intel Guru Mountain Goat. Article: Iraq's accession to international financial institutions enhances economic development opportunities. Quote, the real benefit is in giving Iraq an international standing and a good reputation from an economic perspective. The development road will be a gateway for the Asian Development Bank to enter Iraq with projects contributing to strengthening the economy within the international environment and building strong international relations in the future. From Intel Guru Frank26, community comment. It's simple. They change their rate and play fair or face tariffs and sanctions. The end. From Frank? Yeah, that's it. And if Sudani doesn't want to do what he's supposed to do, trust me, Trump has already shut down the auctions. Trump has already removed the dollar. Trump has already fined them. I don't know if he's put sanctions. I think he did. I am pissed at the pace of this reinstatement, but I know what Trump is doing. From Newshound Guru Clare. Article: Iraq's economy between alleged stability and real risks. Quote, the government program continues on a path described by officials and analysts as steady and balanced. The ban on dollar trading in the domestic market and the shift to trade financing through international banks have curbed some phenomena, but they have not completely eradicated the black market. Prices continue to fluctuate, raising questions. Given this mixed picture of relative success and real threats, the question remains: are we experiencing true stability or a potentially explosive economic bubble? Does Iraq have a clear vision for transitioning from reactive management to comprehensive strategic planning? Only time will tell. From Newshound Guru, Jeff. I want to bring forward some old information forward. I think this is very important. Shabibi is the founding father of this whole investment. He was put in place by Bush Jr. One of the things he said clear back in 2011, Iraq should reduce inflation to no more than 2%. Right now, their inflation is at 1.5%, so that's in range. It says reduce the note count. They already have. They've got most of the citizens into the banks to get them to transition to debit cards. Monitor the parallel rate. That's the big one. Establish a close match between the parallel market rate and the CBI official rate of the dollar plus minus 2%. Right now, they are within 4 to 5%. It could hit within that 2% threshold by the end of August. From Intel Newshound guru Mark Z via PDK, busy in Iraq over the weekend, we are hoping for a wild ride this week. From Intel guru Frank26, Iraq Boots on the Ground report. From Firefly, Sammy was just here talking about how back when Shabibi was governor of the CBI, he said when the inflation was around 2% and the note count was down, and when the parallel market is close to 2%, that was the excellent time for the rate change to happen. From Frank, I remember that well. Inflation is at 1.5%. That's under 2%, and we have a ton of folks now on the cards and the electronic system. We have less notes out there, and the parallel market is around 4 to 5%. Maybe within 3 weeks, that gap will be at 2%. From Frank, I believe we are either at 2% or very close to it. Everything is in perfect condition for the new exchange rate. From Newshound guru Pimpy, there is a lot of discussion about changing the exchange rate of the Iraqi Dinar. I don't talk about it a whole lot, only because I don't want people to think I'm blowing smoke up your ass. I yanked this off one of the articles I recently read. Quote, Iraqi government is currently engaged in the significant debate regarding the future of the IQD exchange rate, specifically whether to transition from a fixed exchange rate system to a free-floating one. It's being discussed. The Iraqi dinar's value is currently fixed by the Central Bank of Iraq, meaning its value is not determined by global forex market forces. Before ending with few more updates, the hashtag keyword for the 100 Dogecoin giveaway is eradicate. Comment down below which updates you like, think is valuable, or get you most excited. You can be the lucky winner if you like, subscribe, and watch the main content of this video. This will be for this coming Sunday's giveaway, and the winner will be announced in one of the Sunday's videos, so you do not want to miss it. From Newshound/Intel Guru Walking Stick, they are aware of the threat of the sanctions, as are all investors, AMF, the IMF, the EMF, and many others. There is a lot of heat on the GOI. There's a lot on the line. Threats of pulling all American investors are in play, all encompassing their continued use of the American dollar, not standing on their own. Donald Trump is demanding they utilize their currency on a global scale, stop all the restrictions and any use of the USD, and all smuggling to Iran. From Newshound guru Clare, article, a government source denied via Baghdad Today that Washington had rejected al-Sudani's visit. No meeting was originally requested. Quote, the talk about U.S. President Donald Trump's administration rejecting al-Sudani's visit is completely inaccurate, and no official request has been submitted from Iraq to visit Washington during the recent period. And finally, the last update is from Intel guru Frank26 Iraq Boots on the Ground report. From Firefly, Sammy says that picture of Asraflak billboards around Baghdad is talking about money service and the exchange opportunities that we'll be having. From Frank, they're teaching you during the Asraflak education how to exchange money. Why? Because you're about to exchange your 3-0 notes into lower notes. They're teaching you about internal actions for you as Iraq citizens with your banks. I will be exchanging outside for a profit. You will be exchanging inside for purchasing power. The timing is perfect. I'm very happy to see the pace we're seeing now. Before we dive into my final analysis, quick reminder, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button right now. I break these updates down with real research, not recycled hype. And when this thing moves, you're going to want to say you were ahead of it, not chasing it. Now let's get into it. All right, we've gone through all the latest intel, and honestly, when you line them up side by side, a much bigger story starts to reveal itself. Let's start with Jeff's latest update because it's probably the most underrated of the week. He didn't just throw out speculation. He circled us back to the original blueprint laid out by Dr. Shabibi, the architect of this entire monetary reform. What's wild is how closely Iraq is now matching that vision. Inflation at 1.5%, which is below the 2% threshold Shabibi said was critical before any rate change. Note count down significantly. Citizens largely transitioned to debit cards and inside the banking system. Parallel rate versus CBI rate, sitting around 4 to 5%, and Jeff projects they could hit 2% by the end of August, which happens to be the IMF's target for Article 8 compliance. That's not just alignment, that's textbook execution of the original RV playbook. Jeff basically reframed the revaluation conversation by showing Iraq is almost done checking off every original box. In my opinion, that's huge. Now, let's stack that with Pimpy's update, which quietly confirms something we've been waiting years to hear. Iraq is now publicly debating whether to move from a fixed exchange rate to a free-floating system. That might sound dry, but if you know monetary policy, that's a flashing neon sign that the central bank is getting ready for a shift. A float means the value of the dinar would be determined by supply and demand, not just by decree. And the only reason you'd ever consider that is if you're building toward global market confidence, which is exactly what Iraq has been working on through de-dollarization, digital reform, and international compliance. Even Pimpy, who's usually the guy pouring cold water on the hype, said this is real. And you know what? His caution actually makes it more legit. If a skeptic says the fire's lit, then yeah, we should probably look for smoke. Now, Frank26 and Firefly's Boots on the Ground report adds an entirely different layer. They're seeing Asraflak billboards across Baghdad talking about exchange services. That's not a rumor. That's physical, public education targeting citizens. Frank believes they're being taught how to exchange their 3-0 notes for lower denominations, which directly ties to the long-anticipated Delete the Zeros plan. He even explained how internal Iraqi citizens will exchange for purchasing power, while external holders like us would exchange for profit. And the timing? Frank says it's all lining up. Whether or not you're on the same page as him, you have to admit if a government is educating the public on currency exchange behavior, that's one of the final steps before any monetary transition. Then there's Mountain Goat, who put the spotlight on Iraq's growing integration with international financial institutions. She referenced how Iraq's development road is opening the door to entities like the Asian Development Bank, which not only boosts investor confidence, but also cements Iraq's economic legitimacy on the global stage. You don't court that level of foreign partnership if you plan on staying isolated. That kind of credibility is priceless for a country about to float or revalue its currency. So in my opinion, Iraq is not delaying, they're sequencing. Everything they're doing looks like a country laying the final bricks before walking across the finish line. Between Pimpy's cautious confirmation of a float discussion, Jeff's revival of the Shabibi blueprint, Frank's boots-on-the-ground signals, and Mountain Goat's international perspective, this feels different. This feels aligned. It feels like the moment before momentum becomes movement. And if you're not subscribed yet, do it now because the updates are getting faster, the shifts are getting sharper, and when this thing breaks, you'll want to be on the front line, not the sidelines. That's my final take. Let's see what happens next. Moreover, we posted a breaking news the other day. Iraq just made a major move toward joining the World Trade Organization by completing comprehensive technical responses, an essential step that signals a shift toward full international integration. While this might seem like a routine headline, it's actually one of the strongest signs that Iraq could be preparing to move off the program rate and take the dinar global. In this video, I'll break down how this development ties directly into the RV/RI process, how it connects with IMF Article 8 compliance, and why this moment could indicate the beginning of the end for the 1300 rate. If you've been watching for the clues and waiting for confirmation that Iraq is ready, this is the update you don't want to overlook. Most people will miss the significance until it's too late. Please go ahead and check it out by clicking on the link on the top right of this video, as you don't want to miss this. Lastly, We will continue to post videos about the recent events and articles supporting the changes taking place in Iraq, so you don't want to miss them. Also, don't forget, please drop a comment below with hashtag and the keyword and let us know what you think. If you like this content and like to support this channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you get notified when new videos are uploaded. See you on the next video. Bye!